Okay, so hi, welcome back to my channel. As for the people who doesn't know me, I am teacher Husna. I'm currently covering for full plus Form 4. So for all of my video in my channel will be focusing on Form 4 textbooks. So I hope this all my video or this video will help you to actually give an idea on how you should train your students or how you should teach your students, because I believe that nowadays even though the school is already back open, but I believe that some of you might want to use these kind of slides just to put the creativity in your class. So I hope this video will help you to actually come up with the idea on how to attract your students' attention in learn this topic. So as you know, I already end with my unit 8. I already do the revision for my unit 8 image. So now I'm with the new unit, which is unit 1. Let's chat. So today, as usual, I will focus on the reading skill test, and then we'll move on to other skills. So for reading skill today, it's based on a textbook. As you may have a textbook, I believe that all the teacher and all the students have a textbook, so you can refer to the textbook to have a more clear picture. So, but I will also show the picture, show the text in here, because I'm afraid that maybe some of you do not have the textbook, or other reason, maybe you're outside, you don't have this textbook. So I will show you the text. Okay, so can we start? So for today's lesson, actually we have three main the objective of today's lesson, which is the first one. I want them to read the text page ad and correct intonation with the correct intonation and pronunciation. Because when you read, you want to check your students' pronunciation, your students' intonation in certain words, so that they could be more comfortable in speaking. When you read, it actually help you to speak more confidently. Okay, and then for the second one is to give opinion for the text read. So I want them to actually expose by giving opinion in regarding everything that they see, that they read, that they listen, so that they could be more open-minded regarding every topic. And then they have to do exercise in activity C and D. So let's move on. So, just for the word inspiration for today, which education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, what I want to say here, but this is from Nelson Mandela. I'm sure you know this person. If you don't know, prefer you to make a research about this person. This person is very good. So yeah, regarding this word, actually I want to say that you may feel the burden of learning, but you have to know that education, that what you learn, what you get from the class, is actually help you to actually to realize how the world works. Okay, that is really important, because when you know a lot of knowledge, people will be reliable on you. People will say, "Oh, this person really good." I'm not like comparing, but it's just like the more you know, the more you realize how the world is. So that is actually the word inspiration that I want to give you just before we start our class, because I don't want to be so serious in this video, just to share with you. Okay, next one. So for the pre-lesson, actually I will ask them just like a small discussion with my class, because I don't want to have this. So just discussion, like this is the question that I will ask. The first one: what do you know about social networking sites? Because I believe that nowadays, the teenagers, the students use social networking sites, social networks, social media. It's kind of like the same thing. So, do you know about social networking sites? I want them to actually. I don't want to give them everything. So this is like a student have to give what they understand about the meaning. Because I don't want to give any meaning. Just my student to give up their opinion about this. So they tell me what they know about the social networking sites, what kind of sexual networking. So and then I will ask you, are you a member of social networking sites? What social networking sites? As the third question is, what do you use it for? If they have the social networking site, what do you use for? for sharing your stories, for sharing motivational quotes, for sharing your life, like a journal. So it can be anything. So it depends on your students on how they give the answer. And then you can share. Maybe you can put your answer in the comment box below just to share with everyone who's watching this video, so that we could share with each other about this. Okay, so that is for the pre-lesson. So a discussion that I will do with my students, just to warm up a little bit before we start with the class, before we start with the reading text. Just a small discussion here, and then maybe I will ask them that maybe they can share the social network page for me so that I could maybe do some research about their social network page. So, or maybe their friends can look at it and give more opinion, like what they could add, what they could, uh, how can discourage some of the things in the social networking site. So it depends. Okay. So are we done with the lesson? And then this is when we start with the reading. This is our first activity. So we have actually four: A, B, C, D, for what the person here share with us. So for the first one, Alicia 16. So as I wait for you so that you will know how to pronounce it, okay? So the first one, Alicia 16. I spend a lot of my free time on social networking sites. They're great for keeping in touch with my mates and finding old friends too. The other day, I found a school friend from primary school. I was so pleased to hear her news. Social networking sites are also useful for helping people out. I saw on a friend's page that one of his friends needed a driving instructor. My uncle is a driving instructor and he's on the same social networking site. I introduced them and they were both happy. My parents complained that playing online games with friends is a waste of time, but I totally disagree. You see, I'm really into trivia games, but also words games and chess, which I find amusing and educational. So I can't see any drawback there. So you can see these are highlighted words. So we're just going to keep that, and then we move on to the next, which is the B one. Adrian, 16. I don't think social networking sites are for me. I really don't like having too much information about myself out there on the web. I mean, anyone could find my email and start sending me spam or viruses. There's also cyberbullying, which can be very nasty. A friend of mine had to stop using a social networking site last month because someone who was constantly saying horrible things about her. Also, someone could pretend to be you and commit crimes. Imagine that. So, see that maybe you can compare from the A and B. Move on to the C. Ryan, 15. I'm not a big social networking site user, to be honest. I can't understand why people have to update their social the status all the time. I don't want to know what someone is bullying at the supermarket, or how long they've been waiting in Starfleet traffic. Why do I care? But I find it useful for events. We're putting on a school play at the end of the year, and using a social networking site makes a lot of easier. We're organizing the ticket these days. It really helps. We've got our own page to advertise the school play, and when it's over, we'll upload photos and videos on the highlights. Okay, for the email 40. I'm a member of a social networking site, but I'm thinking about deactivating it. For one thing, it's taking up too much of my time. I play virtual games, chat with loads of people, and I have hundreds of friends. The more time I spend on social networking sites, the less time I have for my real life. I think the funniest straw is my mom. She is a member of the same social networking site as me, and I made the mistake of making her one of my friends. She hasn't lost touch with her schoolmates and she enjoys being alone, but now she tends to follow my every move. It's embarrassing. I can't do anything without her knowing. So this is one of the opinion that from this student, this four students, Alicia, Adrian, Ryan, and Emma, they share about they use the social networking sites and they share about the social networking site that they may experience. So you can see the good sides and then the bad sides. So I asked them to read maybe a multiple times because we only have what I do actually, I ask them to read and then I just stop them in the middle and then I ask the other person to continue it because with like that I know that all of them are focusing on what their friends read. It's not just like the other friends read and then the other do anything and do something else. So I'm not gonna do that in my students. So I want them to actually participate in it. Okay. So when they all read the text here, what I want to do is actually I ask them to be in pair, and they can read together in pair, and then they have to discuss about the positive and the negative opinion from the text. Okay, what I mean by positive opinions is from the text what the positive point that they could find in the text, and you will create it as a motivation. Like you see the four different opinions there, so they have to find a positive that they think they could use for using the social networking sites. What they can be a motivation that the thing that they can be used in the real life world. And then for the negative opinion is like what they could find that would they would like to change. So for negative, like for example, like say here, like the one they say they cannot connect with the real life. So what you could do, maybe less playing social networking, like you have time for your social networking and you have time for your real life interaction. Okay, so that is what I want to do. So they can come out with it, and then this is like I said, this is like opinion, giving opinion. So maybe they could write in their book, and then I will ask them to actually present. So this is a pair. So one could take a positive opinion and one would take the negative opinion. But I don't want them to, if they have the same point, I will ask them to elaborate more so they could see the difference that maybe they have the same point, but the explanation of the point is can be a different thing. So that is really important. So it's okay if the student have the same point of positive or negative, but ask them to elaborate more so that they could understand more about the point that they give to us, not just by giving the point without explaining. Because when we talk about opinion, this is important for them to actually train them to elaborate more rather than just to give them point. Because when they elaborate more, they can confuse and really easy. Because if you know how to create an essay where you have to put um, the first point and then you have to explain so that you will get extra marks. So same as this. You tell them if they give a point and then you also explain, they will get extra marks. If not, they will get no marks. So it depends on your own creativity. I do that to my students because I want them to actually, use your brain, brainstorming anything works. It's okay if you do not, because I believe that English in Malaysia is like the second language for them. So if they do not know, ask their partner. That is why we work in partner because we help each other. So they can ask the partner what the meaning of this certain word is Malay in English. Change it to English, translate it to English. So they can help each other. That is the point why working in pair rather than working in individual. It may be hard for you, it may be hard for the students to actually, and it takes a lot of time if you work in the only individual. So this helps you. So I hope this will help you for the activity just to make it more fun rather than read and then you ask for a personal like individual or what do you think about this because people will get boring with it. But when they work in pair, they can talk to the pairs, they can discuss with the pairs, they can brainstorming together, they can come out with a beautiful idea together. So that is the point of working in pair or working in group. So you can make your own decision whether if you have a lot of students in your class, you can make it into a groups. But if you do have not have a lot of students in your class, you can make it in pair. But if there are the advanced students, so I prefer you to do it in just individual class. So that because when you when advanced students only for advanced students they prefer to work it alone rather than work in groups. So you can do that. Prefer what your student want. Okay, for the next one is activity 2, which I will do the Kahoot. So it's Kahoot time, of course. So this is the link. I will put the link in the description box below, just in case you want to use this in your class. So I will show you next Kahoot. So this is the Kahoot. So I think you may know how to use this in my previous video. So what you have to do is ask the students, they can use laptop or they can use the phone to put out the pin. So you will show the pin here as I will Okay, in the thing which is 5298691. So enter. Okay, as you can see, it's connecting to Kahoot. So I put my nickname here. So I put enter. So you can see my name there. So what I want them to do is actually we can start now. Okay, so what is drawback? So this is actually they have to find the correct meaning. So drawback, the correct meaning for drawback, as you can see in the um, as you can see in the drawback in the previous text. So the answer is disadvantages. So you have to put your answer here actually. So disadvantages is the correct answer. Okay. So now we move to the next question. Because I didn't answer, so zero, but if you should answer, you will get the point. Okay, question number two. Nasty. What is the correct meaning of music so here choose unpleasant. So you have to wait until all of the answer or you can just move. So you see I got the correct answer, so I got the point. Okay. Nasty is unpleasant. Very good. Next one. Constantly. Constantly. What is the correct meaning for constantly? Is it rarely or is it here? So if it is rarely, so it means it rarely. If it is continuously, it means continuously. Constantly is continuously. So this is the correct answer. So you get the point. And maybe you can explain a little bit to your students why the meaning and then ask the students to maybe give uh, like a simple sentence for them to make you more understand it. So yeah. So next one, question number four. So we have 16 photos. So I think what is objective? Is it give the most recent information or give false information? I think a lot of students know this. So it's actually give the most recent information. This is objective. Give false information. You're gonna ask the student what is for give false information meaning. So the point. Maybe because I'm the one who made, I think it is actually train students to think fast, come up with the answer fast. So number five, highlights. The highlights, as you can see in the text, is it the highest part of something or is it the best part of something? Of this question, it actually is the best part of something, not highest part. Okay, highest part is a different meaning. It is the best part of something. So you put in highlights. If you have a social media, you may know the highlights that you put in your profile. Okay. So next, and last question. Deactivating. Deactivating. What is the meaning of deactivating? Is it pressing something or is it making something stop working? Answer is making something stop working. That is what we use by deactivating as what in the text already written there. So this is making something stop working. So you have to turn networking sites and then the activity means that you will not use the social networking sites anymore. So guys, that is how it goes. So of course, since I'm the only one person that playing this, so of course I'm the number one. So you can see here, with the sound effects, with how they can participate, all of them can participate here. So this is for Kahoot. Okay, so we're done with the Kahoot. So here is for the exercise that I want my students to do. It's actually in the textbook, page 9. You can see in the textbook and I'll show you. So the next slide, this is the question, this is the exercise. which they have to read the text A, B again, and answer the question below. Write A, B, C, or D. So A, B, C is actually like A is for uh, the one that we read in text. B is who, C is who, and D is who. So they don't have to put the name on. They just put A, B, C, D. So if you can see here, they have to read text and then they have to write down that this text is with the person A or person B or person C or person D. So you can make it down. You can put your answer in the um, comment down below so that we can share with other people. If okay, if you're wrong, it's okay. We don't want people to feel pressure to have all correct. It's okay. You can take time and ready. So what you can do is actually you can back. You can um, back to the text part, and then you can read it back just in case you forgot about this. So it's okay. So I will show you the answer. So this is the answer. So the first one that he or she has been using social networking sites a bit too much or recently, and they have preference to social networking sites. Okay, that some personal information on social networking sites is useless. C. The dangers of using social networking sites. D. Organizing an event at school. C. How a family member might make him or her stop using social networking sites. D. And finding enrolled friend. And so this is the answer. You get it all correct, then it is a very good job. If you do not, then it's okay. Because in the process of learning, we can make a mistake. Because when we make a mistake, we'll remember the mistake and we will, after this, we will be a better person. And that is the exercise for today. I hope you can get something through this reading class. So before we end, of course, we are going to do a summary here. So the summary for summary is connect with the friends, as you can see in the text that we read. Connect the friends with the primary schools. It's really good because I believe it's really hard now for you to because someone moved out of the town, so you don't get the opportunity to actually get the new address. So what you can do is actually find them in the social networking sites, so that you can you can still keep in touch with them. You don't have to like because I believe that if you send a letter, I'm not saying anything, but if you send a letter, it may take a little bit time. But if you use the social networking sites, it's actually make it more easier for you to connect with your friends. Okay. And then the second point is learning about new knowledge. So when you have a social networking site, a lot of people actually sharing about new things. When they share about new things and you read about them, it actually helps you to get to know about that little things, even though it may be useful or it may not be useful, but at least you know about that thing so that when other person asking you about things that you know how to answer them and then you know how to actually uh, share your opinion about this. So, and then the last one is practice social skills. So, when you have social networking side, of course, it will practice your social skills to communicate with people. It doesn't matter if it was a game, it was any other thing else, because when you have this, I know like a lot of people are introvert to talk in real life. So you can practice by talking in the social networking site just to enjoy, talking to people rather than if you feel ashamed to talk to people by face to face, you can talk to them by the chatting or all of that. So that is summary for today. So I think that is all for today. Thank you. And I hope you get something through this video, even though it's not much, but at least get a little bit of it because I want you will learn something through this video. It will help you to actually get an idea how to use this. So I think that is all for today. I see you on the next video. Bye. Thank you. See you next time.